her kids, one of her sons, has a friend whose dad seems to be hitting on her all the time. And she's not sure, like, look, they're going to be hanging out with each other for a long time. Do I even tell my husband what's going on here? Because it's not like I'm going to do anything about it. Or should I just let it go?
Hi, Bert Show. I'm a big fan. Listen every morning. So I thought I'd bring my weird situation to you. Why, thank you for doing that. If anybody else has a weird situation, go to thebertshow.com and you can email us there as well. I'm not sure if I should do something or let it go. My son just started hanging out with a new friend. Just recently, his friend came over and they had a sleepover. I met his parents, and they seem like really relaxed, cool people. But his dad pretty much wouldn't let his wife speak at all because I figured he just talks a lot. Well, I ran into him in town, and ever since I ran into him, I now see him every morning. I go to the store every morning, and I've never seen him there until recently. He flirts with me a lot, and I have no idea what to do. I don't really want to call him out because I hate conflict, but I don't want it to get in the way of my son hanging out with his friend. Should I mention my issue to my husband or ignore it completely? I don't want to cause unwanted issues at all. Thank you. There's multiple things to consider here.
Yeah, I need examples of the flirtations, you know?
Let's just say it's obvious. Because the dude will say that, like, are you sure? But I mean, women know, right?
We'll just take her word for it that he's being openly flirtatious with her. And so she doesn't want to say anything to him because, one, she hates conflict, and two, she doesn't want to cause a rift between her son and his friend. And if she mentions this to her husband, how is he going to react?
1-855-BERTSHA. You know what? I probably don't even want to know. I'm just assuming dudes are dogs, and I know that. So I'm just assuming that they're going to be hitting on my fiance, who I think is aesthetically pleasing. I just assume it's going to happen, but that's out of her control. So why would I even want to know about it? Like, I just kind of operate under the assumption that if a guy had a shot at my fiance, he'd take it.
See, this drives me crazy that here we have a man, if we're taking this for face value, okay? We have a man who is acting inappropriately and making a woman feel uncomfortable, a woman who is married and has a child. He, too, is married and has a child, and those children are friends. So we have a man, and what he is doing is making her uncomfortable, yet she's the one who feels obligated to make sure the situation isn't uncomfortable.
Well, nowhere in here does it say that she's feeling uncomfortable. She just says, look, this guy's hitting on me, but she doesn't say, it's like grossing me out. I'm just not in. She doesn't say anything like that.
I mean, she's like, I run into him every morning now. He never came to the store before, but now he's showing up every morning at the store where I am and flirting with me. So she's dancing around saying that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I just know, I think that Tiffany would shut it down. I know she would. I've seen it. So I think she would shut it down herself. And then, because if I know about it, then I don't want his friend to come over to the house because I hate the dad. So I don't like the kid by proxy. And it's just kind of, I don't think I would have known.
All right, so instead of involving the husband, do we just advise her, all right, next time you see him at the store and he says something or does something inappropriate, shut it down and be like, you know what, that makes me uncomfortable. Please don't do that again.
Yep, 100%. I think you say something to him because I know if I'm the husband, by the time you come to me, I'm just going to make it worse. And it's going to be a lot worse than it probably has to be. So if I'm her, say something to him, let him know, and then it has to stop after that.
But even sometimes telling someone they make you uncomfortable can make you really uncomfortable. And she's saying, like, I hate conflict, and she doesn't want him to act out on their kids, like, by not letting them hang out anymore. So can you shut down a guy without him getting all in his feelings about it and taking it out on the kids?
Like a 50-50 chance there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the dude should be embarrassed.
He should be, but here's the thing, and there are accounts online about this. When you call a man out for his behavior, they tend to get aggressive.
Yeah.
And vindictive, and they will turn it around on you, and it gets nasty on his behalf.
Yeah, like By Felipe account on Instagram. That one is one where girls are they want a phone number or a date, but they're just like, send me picture nudes. And then girls are like, no, that's gross. And then the man turns into this aggressive monster and is like, don't flatter yourself. You're a piece of crap. You're fat. You're this and that. They just go nuts.
Yeah, it's a little like prime example. A guy asks a girl for her number and she's like, no, thank you. And he's like, you're a C word.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it happens that fast.
At that point, I would go to the husband. I mean, it sucks that she has to say anything, obviously, but you have to say something, unfortunately, to get him to realize what he's doing.
Hey, Toya, good morning.
Good morning.
So does the wife go to the husband and say, I just want to let you know that Chucky's dad is kind of a creep?
No, I think that sometimes you don't have to use your words. Maybe if he flirts with her, she kind of gives him the stank face, like, ew, like, no. See where that goes, you know?
Right. So you think that, like she should try to shut this down before going to the husband?
Yes. Because sometimes if you give somebody the look like it ain't happening, they'll kind of back off a little bit,
Right.
Sometimes my look has been, they take it as a come hither. Like, I'm like, get away from me. And they take it as I should try harder. It's worked actually for me to be like, how would your wife feel about this conversation? Like, that was a way that I shut down a guy once where he realized, oh, she's going to narc on me. I better stop.
Hey, Heather.
Hi.
Good morning. Okay, what do you do here?
I've been in this situation. I'm 48 years old. My youngest son is 24, and he was in junior high. Long story short, one of his friends' dads was very, very inappropriately flirting, and I had to be the one to step up, even though I don't like conflict. If you do not address it in the beginning, you're going to have conflict in the long run. And it went to the point to where I addressed it with him. My son found out. My son addressed it with his friend. His friend called me a MILF, and my son hit him in the face.
Oh, my God.
The conflict trickled down the family tree.
That was appropriate.
Okay. All right. So you'll be the last piece of advice on this again. So your advice is to do exactly what?
She needs to address it herself as a woman. Stick up for yourself and say, I am not comfortable with this. It's not appropriate. I don't want you to do this. If he continues, then she needs to have her husband address it.
Okay.
Yeah, because by going to the store and continuing to allow him to do that and not saying anything is basically, even though it's not an endorsement to him, he couldn't interpret it as an endorsement. Like, she likes this, like, my interaction.
All right. Take care of it.
The Bert Show.